Network Entertainment.
Who's ready for story time?
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
Let me talk to him.
Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Adam!
Hey everyone, this is Jeff Cobb.
I have to finish the story.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
Run!
Bang! The sniper is shooting you down. This is TMDK's Robbie Eagles.
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London.
Hello, my name is Ilya Dragunov, the Star, the NXT champion, and you're listening to...
And you're listening to...
And you're listening...
And you are listening...
And you're listening
to the Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
To the Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.
You're listening to the longest-running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast post-show/bonus episode after the live stream for all of the topics that we just didn't have enough time to talk about on our weekly Thursday hangout with you guys. So we're going to start with Smackdown. Pete Dunne, the name, and to an extent, the bruiserweight gimmick, it went away when he became a brawling brute. And now that Ridge Holland is going through his own little hero's journey on NXT and Sheamus has been inactive because of an injury, Tyler Bate has come out as yung rest back ni Pete Dunne. And Tyler Bate is bringing the yoga, meditating energy thing to SmackDown. And they're alluding to Butch just finding himself again. And mukhang ito na nga yung pagbabalik ni Pete Dunne na matagal na nating hinihintay. And they're also hinting at British Strong Style also making a return as a unit.
Yeah. I mean...
Well, minus Trent Seven.
Yeah, minus Trent Seven. I mean, so the Brawling Brutes are no more. Just, it was unceremonious, but I guess Sheamus deserves to rest as well. Okay naman, yeah. I've always wanted to find a way to get to Pete Dunne kasi syempre Butch is a Vince creation. So, I guess this is the way. I guess you have to break the Brawling Brutes to get to the Pete Dunne omelet. I appreciate it. I like it. Buti nagawan siya ng paraan kasi Pete Dunne and by extension, si Tyler Bate and Trent Seven, they were one of the biggest signings ni Triple H from the UK scene. So it's good that he found a way to honor him again by, getting rid of the name that nobody really wanted. So I'm all for this.
Plus, ever since Triple H took over, he's been, unti-unti niyang ibalik si... First, it was the attire. Last year pa yung attire niya na yung Pete Dunne attire, and then the moveset he slowly brought back, the things that we saw from his days as Pete Dunne. So I guess
X-Plex yung pinaka-una ko nakitang na bumalik eh. Kasi he stopped doing the X-Plex as Butch.
Yeah, and then I think the name is the final step to bringing back Pete Dunne into WWE canon. So I like this, especially now na again the Brawling Brutes. I think it's
Wait, did you just call them the Brawling Brutes?
Brawling Brutes. Sorry about that. Brawling Brutes. Okay. Sorry. But now that the Brawling Brutes are inactive, and then you got Ridge Holland in NXT having his own story there. So, might as well.
They can all finish their own stories.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's see this happen. I hope na British Strong Style actually returns before WrestleMania, so so they can actually have something to do come WrestleMania. Otherwise, I guess everyone gets to be part of the Andre Battle Royal. All right, let's cross over to NXT, and this one's for the Oba Feminists. Oba Femi came out with his North American Championship, a la Dave Batista circa 2005, and that sweet white turtleneck. Pero wala siyang white jeans, di tulad ni Batista. Oba Femi comes out and he gives the Mbaku-like speech, right? Na parang, this is predestined. This is something ordained by the people in my homeland or whatever. And yet, he doesn't want to take up yung challenge ni Dragon Lee for the North American Championship. Kalaki-laking tao ni Oba Femi.
Yeah.
Natanggihan niya yung 5'5" or 5'6" na si Dragon Lee. So what do you think about that?
They lost me there. It was so good. The promo was so good. It was really nice to hear a Nigerian accent, an honest to goodness one. Sorry, Apollo Cruz. Sorry. Akala ko okay na yung accent ni Apollo Cruz, pero yun pala yung tunog ng authentic na accent. So that was really good. And then the presentation, the look, the moves, and then they had him duck Dragon Lee's challenge. Like, what was that about? Like, come on, man. Yes, gets ko yung psychology na. Okay, he's calling a shot, and then he's doing the same thing that he did to Dragon Lee, na, coming in there, taking him unaware, diba? I get it, but you are fucking huge. Like, you are twice the size of Dragon Lee, and then iiwasan mo lang siya. Come on, man. That's not very, it's not very Mbaku of you. Alam mo yun, parang, why did they do this? Ang ganda na eh. This was the Nigerian, the African hero that people wanted. And they took from the Miz playbook. Bakit ganun? Bakit ganun?
Are you no longer an Oba feminist, sir?
No, I'm an Oba feminist. I don't know. I don't like what they did, what they're doing with him, what they're making him do. It's him. It's him carrying out the instructions that he was given him.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, di ba, Oba Femi defeated Dragon Lee to win the title.
Oh.
So, as someone who's as confident as Oba Femi, syempre, alam niya na he can beat Dragon Lee anytime, anywhere. So, it was weird that they've written him to be a coward for that moment. Like, he had that promo and he was, like, this is his destiny and all that. And then, out comes Dragon Lee, and suddenly, nag-iba yung niya, nag-iba yung attitude niya, yung mood niya, and then suddenly doesn't want to fight Dragon Lee anymore. It's weird. I mean, when I said that Oba Femi is gonna get like a Brock Lesnar push, like, I mean that he's gonna take on all challengers and dominate all over the competitions.
Yun na ba ako?
This is not
pagka Brock Lesnar na eh. That's so easy.
Well,
exactly.
We'll see kung mag-adapt sila.
Tsaka people are cheering him. People are reacting positively to Oba Femi.
Exactly.
They're doing the Mbaku who. Diba?
Actually, he's cool eh. Like, kahit sabihin mo na maangas siya or what, like, that's the type of angas I can get behind.
Tapos gagawin mo
offensive.
Tapos gagawin mo siyang patalo, di ba? Nobody wants this. I want to see him destroy the luchador I like. Diba?
Yeah, it is so hard for a newcomer to come in like that and have the crowd immediately, immediately cheer you and you're gonna be over with the crowd after 3 weeks of being on TV. So he has it. Like, he got it. They just have to write him better than that than they did on NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yun, let's see kung mag-adjust. Again, the Oba Femi character is very young. It is in its infancy, diba? In champion siya agad.
The guy is young.
Yes.
They were talking about this nung Smackdown show. The WWF champion when Oba Femi was born was Steve Austin in his latter reigns.
Oh my God.
Yun yung
22, holy shit.
Oh, post neck injury. This is post neck injury Steve Austin.
Gago, Emil, mas matanda ka pa kay Oba Femi.
Pero no, someone is saying he's 25.
No, he's
I've read that.
Ano yun? Kasi yung destroyed records, birth records, ganun.
Sabi na 25 na daw siya, hindi daw 22. So,
so Wikipedia says na 1998 yung birth year niya, pero sabi ng Google 2001.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
No. Either way, that's still pretty young.
Still young.
Still pretty young, yeah.
Para, Emil, imagine mo, kababata mo si Oba Femi, tapos kayo mukha na siyang tatay mo, puta. Laking mama eh. Right, switching gears here. Let's talk about Roxanne Perez. Congrats to her. She's the new #1 contender after winning that Battle Royal turned Fatal 4-Way match. So, medyo matira-matibay rules here. But somebody observed, I believe it was in our Discord, sa Wrestling Podcast patron community, na she's using eyeliner, all black, medyo may edge na yung character niya. So is she heading towards a heel direction? And do you think that's a good move? Because we've said on the pod before, na Roxanne Perez seems to be occupying the space that Bayley once occupied. And it was pretty good because I think every show needs to have that Bailey or Rey Mysterio character who will never turn heel.
I feel like she's I think I've also said this a few weeks ago. I think she's headed towards a heel turn. Ever since I think last year, she was showing signs of aggression, and that match against Ariana Grace a few weeks ago basically cemented the thought in me. Okay, she's heading towards a heel turn, and that's no NXT. She copied I think on the sky blue playbook of looking a little bit darker, and di naman dahil doon mag-heel siya, but she's turning heel because I feel like because of Cora Jade being injured, they need to fill that slot as a main heel on NXT, and I think they're testing the waters to see if Roxanne can actually fill that role.
To the question of tawag doon, if this was a good move, I don't feel it was a good move. Yes, I understand why it's happening because you become the prodigy, you come into NXT as a prodigy, and then you win the women's championship less than 6 months after you debut on TV, diba? There's not much that you can do na rin. But at the same time, I feel like there were other things that they could have done. They could have done what Becky Lynch is doing now, diba? They could have told us more about her, diba? Yes, I know we've already gotten the story of Roxanne Perez would take bus rides to go to training, diba? Stuff like that, and she would do so at such a young age, diba? Because she was such a big wrestling fan. But ang dami-dami pang pwedeng ikwento eh. And so many other women are filling that bad girl role, not necessarily baddie, but bad girl role in the women's division. So sayang lang. I do feel that there always is a spot for the Bailey character, and I get it too. I get it too. After a certain amount of time, you do feel a dead end. You do come across the dead end. When it comes to what you can portray and what you can give as a performer, as a character. So I get that too. Sayang lang kasi I feel like there was more, pero they couldn't quite guide her to doing that more.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Feel ko, kailangan mo talaga ng pure baby face. And I think Lyra Valkyria is kind of in that space, pero iba pa rin yung pagka-pure baby face ni Roxanne Perez. Kasi mas relatable siya. Compared to Lyra Valkyria and her, that thing where she channels yung parang Scottish ancestry niya and the feathers and the birds. I mean, it's very uniquely her, but it's not babyface Roxanne Perez.
Yeah. Yeah. Sayang lang. I mean, I'm sure she can pull it off. Okay naman siya. She's pretty good. She's decent at acting. Whatever passes for decent in NXT, but I enjoy it, man. But I feel like there could have been more to the face run, but I get there isn't also that much depth. Also, when you're featuring other baby faces on the show in the division.
All right, another thing on NXT that's caught your attention, Ro, is the Wolf Dogs.
Legit, I wasn't expecting to be entertained by yung chemistry ni Corbin tsaka ni Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
It was fun. Like I didn't know Braun Breaker had that kind of dog in him. I know Corbin could be funny because Corbin is we had funny Corbin all those years ago, diba?
Si Sad Sack Corbin.
Oh, pero di ko alam na kaya palang maging funny ni Braun Breaker. Like he's funnier than some people I know who claim to be comedians. But I enjoy this because he proves that he can be a badass, he can be corny, but also he can be yung juvenile funny that goes over well with a lot of wrestling fans. So to me, this felt yung interaction nila with Corbin on this week's episode, it felt like Edge and Christian comedy. I don't know if you guys agree, but that's what it felt like to me. Meron silang natural chemistry, like they play off of each other easily, but you can tell that yung mga hirit nila sa isa't isa, they weren't super scripted. Like they're able to play off of each other really organically. So I like that a lot, and there could be something here. Like, I know we already talked about how both Corbin and Breaker were getting over as faces, diba? And this is only going to help that because it turns out that Braun Breaker could take it easy, could be a little more chiller, diba? So that's really funny and entertaining.
Mantakin mo yun, it took each other to make them both likable.
Yeah, again, I feel like this is the final evolution of Braun Breaker kasi we have seen yung the first face version ni Braun Breaker, which is just an ass kicker, and then we saw the badass Braun Breaker who turned heel, like smashed Von Wagner's brain in, and now we see another side of Braun Breaker na ito na yung siguro reason why he's still in NXT is to develop that character na kahit anong scenario na pwede kang isalang, you will do great. And Breaker has proved na he has that comedic chops in him na will make people laugh whenever there's a need for a segment for people to laugh.
Yung pala yung side quest niya sa NXT, kaya pala siya hindi pa nakakollab.
How to make Baron Corbin likable.
The hardest side quest ever.
Apparently not, because like 3 weeks in, we're all, they're getting over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he was able to do that. So kudos. I'm rooting for them to win the whole thing and be the tag team champions, honestly. Kasi medyo nag-stay na din yung D'Angelo family as tag team champions. So
I mean, Corbin had to go through all of that hood torch stuff, diba? yung mga variants niya. All he had to do was, get Braun Breaker as a friend.
Midlife crisis na
kinorek tayo ni diba? Kinorek tayo ni Baron Corbin. Kasi sabi, Braun, I thought about it for 3-4 weeks. Sabi ni Baron Corbin, we've only been tagging for 2. Shout out to my dad, by the way. He caught this segment. It's like, buhay na naman to, thinking that Braun was one of the Steiner brothers.
That's how much he looks like Rick, diba?
Yeah. The genetics are that strong. So
got his comedic chops from Scott, definitely.
I guess, yeah. If he's able to cut an iconic Steiner math promo or just 1/3 of that, that would be great. So congrats to the Wolf Dogs because they are clearly getting over and they're getting on our good list, good side. All right, we're going to wrap things up here with some more signings na hindi natin napag-usapan last week. So Jack Perry is now with NJPW, pero hindi natin alam if he's with NJPW and AEW. But at Battle in the Valley over this past weekend, he tore up his AEW contract in the middle of the ring. So there was that big show of that, no? And then at Hard to Kill, AJ Francis appeared, the former Top Dollar. He's now in TNA.
Yeah. Yung Top Dollar, I wasn't expecting that, but I can't hate on the guy anymore. He did reveal that his infamous botch heard around the world that Michael Cole was slagging him on for the longest time. Saved his life, It was because of that he found out that he had diabetes. So Michael Cole should feel bad about himself for that one.
Oof.
But yun, I'm glad that he gets a job. May value naman siya kahit paano kasi he's able to, generate buzz. He's actually pretty decent in the ring. I mean, syempre, he wouldn't be brought up to TV if he wasn't, worth his salt or anything. But so good on him for finding a spot in TNA. I'll always love it when your when your WWE releases find paying gigs post WWE. Diba? Jack Perry, yun yung bigger thing here. I forgot about it, but a lot of people also forgot about it because there were other big news. It's kind of sad because that they were trying to make this a big deal, pero it didn't quite get over that way because one, he appeared in the middle of the show, like it was after the first hour of the show, ng Battle in the Valley, and then it was versus Shooter, which Shooter is great, but Shooter's not a big star.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Diba? So when your surprise comeback attack is against Shooter, that's not really going to get you many views. But he did get views for tearing up the AEW contract. So I don't know what that means. I don't know. They didn't acknowledge the Dynamite, diba? Did they today?
No, wala.
Ayun. So yung wala pa siyang support on AEW storytelling, diba? So I don't know how they're gonna play this. I don't know if it's a good move in general, but I am still a Jack Perry fan. I just wish he was a face because he's much better as a face. But New Japan is the place to be because if you're a heel and you still want to wrestle like a face. So I guess it's gonna work out for him. I just don't know if this is the right move.
I feel like this is the Jack Perry move to NJPW is an excursion. I still think he is under AEW, but because of the partnership, he's able to appear just like with Box and with Brian. He's able to appear in New Japan, and I feel like he's gonna be there for I think half a year. I think like we were talking about, Mustafa Ali being put in the juniors. They should put Jack Perry in the juniors division, in the junior heavyweight division, and let him cook there. So
lalo siya magagalit. Galit na nga yung tao, lalagay mo pa siya sa juniors division.
He's small though.
He's small.
He's pretty small. Kaya si Shooter yung tinira, di ba? Kaya si Shooter.
Junior Shooter?
Yeah. He is. Okay. I believe he is.
So,
they do take yung weight division seriously kasi. So for those who don't know, when Brian was first announced to face Okada, and then when he beat Okada the first time, some Japanese fans were wondering bakit natalo si Okada ng junior in a straight up singles match. So it is a big deal yung weight classes.
So Jack Perry, I think it's an excursion. Plus, like I really wish na bumalik siya sa AEW kasi maybe they can generate maybe they can generate so much heat because of the scapegoat character. Even though I don't really think Jack Perry is a scapegoat kasi Punk got fired for what he did, but not because of Jack Perry. But this is the character that they are creating for Jack Perry. So I am really looking forward to see what he's gonna do. But eventually, I think he needs to go back to AEW, fully capitalize on that scapegoat persona. Kasi doon nangyari yan eh. Hindi sa NJPW.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's about it for the Wrestling Podcast post show. If you have any other thoughts you want to get in there, if you want to add to anything we might have missed from this week, because we kind of cooked a lot for this week, you know where to find us. It is at Wrestling2XPod on TikTok and on Twitter. Yung isang podcast na pinapakinggan namin, The Masked Man Show, they always apologize to John Moxley. We'll acknowledge and thank Wrestling Podcast legend, future Dr. Glendale Gopi.
Dr. G! Already hanging up his jersey in the rafters.
Our guy. Yun lang, we will just say that and leave it at that. On that note, this ends the Wrestling Podcast post show for this week. We'll catch you next week for our weekend reactions and picks of the week special. On behalf of Ro Moran and Emil Nate, my name is Stan C. Wrestling Podcast out. Later, weirdos.
Peace.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.